Part 33. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 322. Meng Jiwei, this bastard, was suddenly more confident than before. I don't know if it was because Lin Feng was not around or there were other reasons. However, Meng Jiwei is a bit capricious. When he is happy, he may suddenly get angry, and when he is angry, he may suddenly become happy. He has done a lot of things on a whim and even incomprehensible. From Dinan just wanted to take Tian Qingzu to leave quickly. She took Tian Qingzu's hand and was about to walk away, but Meng Jiwei blocked their way and looked at Tian Qingzu's face with a playful look. Beauty school flower, it's 9 o'clock tonight. I'll be waiting for you in the woods of the school, and if I don't see you then, I'll have your good fruits to eat. If you don't show me face, don't blame me for chasing after your dormitory and showing an evil smile. Meng Jiwei finally left. Dinan and Tian Qingzu got into the taxi. Tian Qingzu struggled and said, "Sister Nan, what should I do? Brother Feng is not here, but Meng Jiwei, this bastard, has started to pester me again, and he still wants to chase me. Go to the dormitory." Dinan said, "Lin Feng is not here, but Li Xingguo is there. The eldest young master of Jinwu Center can repair Meng Jiwei. Meng Jiwei thinks of your dormitory pestering you, let him dream." Tian Qingzu said, "That's right, I believe Li Xingguo will definitely help." But Tian Qingzu is still very worried. After all, Meng Jiwei has a father who is the dean. Even if he causes something in the school, it can be easily settled, so Meng Jiwei must not be given a chance to break into her dormitory. I hope Lin Feng is well. Friend. The performance of Li Xingguo, the young master of Jinwu Center, can be more powerful. Fengnan Fashion Store, Dang Nan and Tian Qingzu soon spoke out about Meng Jiwei's arrogance after returning. Li Xingguo was instantly angry. He had the heart to break Meng Jiwei's bones. He sneered, "Meng Jiwei is simply a fool. Lin Feng helped me with errands and did not leave Beijing," but he actually thought that Lin Feng would not be able to get along in Beijing. His thoughts are really it's as ridiculous as it gets. Doesn't he want to see you in the school woods at 9 o'clock tonight? I'll go with you and see how I fix him." Tian Qingzu said, "Then please." "You're welcome. Who told me and Lin Feng to be buddies?" Li Xingguo walked out of the Fengnan Fashion Store. After walking more than 30 meters away, he called Lin Feng's mobile phone. Seeing that the call was from Li Xingguo, Lin Feng was worried that something had happened to Dinan and Tian Qingzu, so he picked it up immediately and wondered, did something happen? Is there someone looking for trouble with Dinan and Qingzu? Li Xingguo said with a relieved smile, "You kid is very sensitive, maybe you don't believe it when you say it, that Meng Jiwei who has been repaired a few times by you has started to make waves again. First of all, I suspect that you can't survive in Beijing and leave." And then pestered Tian Qingzu. Lin Feng understood the situation, smiled and said, "You go to see Meng Jiwei with Qingzu tonight, simply repair Meng Jiwei to frighten him, and then repair him together when I go back. I suspect that he suddenly showed this is not just because he thinks I'm no longer in Beijing. It's also because he has a backer." Li Xingguo said, "What kind of backer?" Lin Feng said, "Don't forget, Meng Jiwei not only has a father who is the dean of Beijing Normal University, but also a mother who runs a company in the United States. Maybe his mother came back and said something." The words emboldened him. There was such a possibility. Li Xingguo suddenly became enlightened. He smiled and said, "It's still your kid's brain that is easy to use. I don't know if your kid's brain is so flexible by nature or it was learned from writing online novels. If it is learned, then I will write something when I have nothing to do in the future, and I don't want to earn manuscript fees. It's like training your brain." Lin Feng smiled and said, "Even if you can earn the royalties, you are too lazy to write this. I guess you will have a headache within half an hour of facing the document. It is possible to grab the computer and throw it on the ground. When I am not there, protect the representative." Nan and Kingzu depend on you, and I also believe that your kid will be very powerful. Don't worry, I hope you can come back safely soon. You always say you're fine, but I'm always a little worried about people who can't see you. Yezi, I didn't abuse you, right? No, Linfeng said. It's easy to hear your kid's tone. I hope you're fine. Also, I have to remind you that in front of Yezi, you should try not to be too sturdy. If you really irritate her, you might eat it. It's a big loss, after all, she's a very powerful person. Don't worry, I know all this, Linfeng said. In fact, Dainan also knew that Linfeng got Yeye up, because Dainan had chatted with Yeye before and it was confirmed. But you must not let Tianqingzu know the truth easily, otherwise Tianqingzu will also know the past of Linfeng and Baishan. This is not what Linfeng wanted, nor what Dainan wanted to see. As a very special good friend of Linfeng, although it is impossible for him to become Linfeng's girlfriend, Dainan hopes Tianqingzu can become Linfeng's daughter. Friend. Tianqingzu is beautiful and pure, graceful and hot, kind and generous. If Linfeng can get married with Tianqingzu, live comfortably at home, and get a special face, it will definitely be his blessing. Li Xingguo hung up the phone and went to Fennan fashion store again. He originally wanted to take Zhao Fei to be chic this night, but now it seems that he can't be chic. He must stay and help Tianqingzu deal with Meng Jiwei. Meng Jiwei, you bird man, Linfeng had already given you enough face before. Although he repaired you, he did not repair you to the point where your body was completely wrecked. Walking on the road is always limping, see, I won't give you some color tonight? In the fantasy, Li Xingguo's fists and feet had already reached Meng Jiwei's body, blood spurted out of Meng Jiwei's nostrils, blood spurted from his forehead, his legs were swollen and he couldn't move. Li Xingguo became more and more excited, standing on the ground of Fennan fashion store, an evil smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Zhao Fei said tenderly, "Husband, isn't it you? Your smile is so evil, do you think of a certain beauty's panties? Let me know more about it, I will wear these in the future, let you take a look enough." Zhao Fei communicated with Li Xingguo so hotly, Dainan sounded very interesting, but Tianqingzu's face was a bit difficult, her delicate face was blushing, like a drunken red cloud flying from the sky and falling on her face. Dark night. This is destined to be a very special night, Linfeng is more worried, but Li Xingguo is very hopeful. Yes, private villa is brightly lit, and there is a very unique blur in the luxury. At this time, there were only Linfeng and Sister Wang in the villa, Yeye and Hongying were not there, but Linfeng believed that Hongying would come over this evening. The red-style massage had already made him very ecstatic. He did not know what Hongying would arrange this evening. A show that made him even more ecstatic. But Linfeng thought more about what would happen when Tianqingzu met the Meng Jiwei accompanied by Li Xingguo. Linfeng definitely didn't want Li Xingguo to seriously injure Meng Jiwei, otherwise it would be very troublesome. Although Meng Jiwei's father is not the president of Beijing Normal University, but the dean of one of the colleges, after all, he has also managed contacts on and off campus for many years. If he really gets angry, the activity energy is very powerful. What's more, Meng Jiwei is very likely to be arrogant again because of what his mother said to him when he came back from the United States. Sitting together in the living room to watch TV, Sister Wang was wearing very loose casual clothes, but her tall were still so prominent, and her slenderness showed her plumpness, which made people think that if she touched Sister Wang's pants, that is incomparably comforting, how comfortable it is to sleep with the body of such a charming beauty. Since coming to this villa, Linfeng has seen traces of Sister Wang's pants through his pants or skirts almost every day, but he has never touched Sister Wang's pants. If he dared to stretch his hand towards Sister Wang's evilly, it would definitely make Sister Wang furious in the shortest possible time, and then Sister Wang might complain to Yeye without regard to the issue of face, and then what he faced might not be Yeye was alone, but a group of master repairers or Yaya pointed a gun at his forehead alone. Sister Wang noticed that Lin Feng was glancing in her direction, and immediately became a little nervous. Yaya and Hongying were not there. If Lin Feng was eating her tofu at the moment, it would be really troublesome. Lin Feng's hand had touched her chest before, but now she is very shy when she thinks about it. Sister Wang doesn't want Lin Feng's hand to touch any sensitive part of her body again. Sister Wang's body is very sensitive, and there are many areas that can easily make her shy. Among them, the towering chest and the intoxicating place wrapped in small pants are the ones that Lin Feng doesn't want to touch the most. At the same time, Sister Wang, there is still a woman with itchy flesh. If itchy flesh is touched by someone, she may not be able to control herself and laugh out loud. Sister Wang didn't want Lin Feng to touch her ticklish flesh, because she didn't want to laugh in front of Lin Feng. Lin Feng smiled and said, "Sister Wang, don't be nervous, I don't want to eat your tofu, I just want to chat with you. We've been sitting here for almost 20 minutes, no one has spoken, it's a bit dull, you say something." "What?" Sister Wang relaxed a little and smiled, "Then what do you want to talk to me about?" Lin Feng said, "Talking about your previous stories, I believe you must be a woman with a lot of stories. If you want to relieve your mood, I really want to be a loyal listener." Sister Wang has not mentioned her past events to anyone for a long time. She has been pressing it in her heart. Sometimes it will make her very painful, especially in the dead of night, when she thinks of past events in loneliness, her tears will flow uncontrollably. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Suki Feng. Chapter 323. In Sister Wang's eyes, Lin Feng is just a big boy. Even if he listens to her previous stories, he may not really understand her. Even if he writes online novels and has conceived many plots in life before, he may not really understand her story. Sister Wang said, "I am indeed a woman with a lot of stories, but I don't want to talk about those things in the past, because it will ruin my mood. I also hope that you kid will not ruin my mood in any way." Since Sister Wang didn't want to talk, even if he continued to ask, it would have no effect. Lin Feng said, "Sister Wang, you must be a master dancer. You know, I'm not good at Kung Fu." "What I just said was the dance of dancing," Lin Feng said. "Oh, it seems that my understanding is wrong. I dance, it's okay, but what do you want to do?" Sister Wang said. "Although I know Kung Fu, I'm not very good at dancing. Why don't you teach me to dance? I heard Yezi said that your good friend Dainan is a master dancer who enjoys the reputation of dancing elf. Although he came out of the night scene, he has been affirmed by many people. If you want to learn to dance, whether it's a duet or a wild dance, you can let Dainan teach you, and if you really want to learn dancing in this villa, you can also let Hongying teach you. Hongying is also a master dancer, so I don't need it." Lin Feng was a little unwilling to give up, "But I just want you to teach me." Sister Wang's face was full of sullenness. "If you don't want to prolong your stay here, don't make me embarrassed. I have forgiven you a few times before, but that doesn't mean I will always forgive you. If you annoy me, I told Yaya. Then Miss Yaya may let you live here for a month. Although it is very luxurious, I have already seen it. You have long wanted to show off, and you definitely don't want to let your novels break for dozens more. God." The novel was about to be interrupted for 3 days, and Lin Feng was so depressed that he collapsed. If it was interrupted for dozens of days, it would kill him. Lin Feng would never let this happen. He immediately stopped teasing Sister Wang. She smiled slightly and went upstairs. Sister Wang finally breathed a sigh of relief and said in her heart, "I finally scare you, you should leave quickly, otherwise you may eat my tofu at any time." When Sister Wang thought again that she was a charming woman, her curvaceous and hot body had a strong attraction to men. And the reason why Lin Feng always wanted to eat her tofu was that she was stimulated, and she was much relieved. The feeling of not being able to code in front of the computer is really painful. It is like a person who is crazy about online games but can't play in front of the computer. That kind of feeling will make people crazy. At this time, Lin Feng was a little crazy. First, he scratched his hair and then his ears. He even wanted to quickly code out 2,000 words. Then transfer by mail, and then delete the record. The thought kept swirling in his mind, he already had the document open. At this moment, the door opened. With a strong aroma, Hong Ying came over. He stretched out his hand to grab Lin Feng's ear, and said angrily, "What do you want to do? You can't live by committing sins, you actually want to code." Lin Feng avoided and didn't let Hong Ying grab his ear, otherwise he would hurt a lot if Hong Ying exerted force. He smiled and said, "You misunderstood, in fact, I opened the document just to get a feel for it, after all, I haven't coded for a few days. The word is gone, I'm afraid that the feeling is gone, you came in too soon, I haven't had time to turn it off." "Shut up, kid, I admit that you have a righteous and honest side, but you can be cunning sometimes. I warn you, being clever in this villa will only make you more depressed, so you should be a little more obedient." "Come on," Hong Ying's attitude eased, and her smile became charming, "if you can be more obedient, you will be more comfortable." Lin Feng said, "The tone of your voice just now seemed to be strange, that your uncle was lying to your little sister, but I am a man and you are a woman." Hong Ying helped Lin Feng to close the document and then the computer, and smiled, "I heard what Sister Wang said just now, you really want to learn to dance? No problem, I'll teach you how to dance, and you can dance." Sister Wang told Hong Ying that this should not be a complaint, but Hong Ying still knew. At this time, Hong Ying stood about 3 meters away from Lin Feng, and could dance at any time. If you don't dance, it's already hot. If you dance, it will be even hotter. Hong Ying raised her arms and turned around gracefully while smiling charmingly. Her buttocks twisted slightly in Lin Feng's direction. There was no dance, but her sense of rhythm was very strong. The arms are swaying, the graceful waist posture is rippling, and the hips are also rippling. The more force, the greater the magnitude. Hong Ying's dance like this is sultry, but if Lin Feng dances like this, it will be obscene. What Lin Feng wants to learn is the kind of dance that a man and a woman dance with hugging each other. It is definitely not the kind of dance that can easily make him wretched. Even if he learns this kind of dance, he can't easily show it to others, otherwise others will think he's a pervert. Even if he gets to the dance floor of the disco, he can play freely. There is no need to follow the rhythm of Hong Ying at this time. Otherwise, many people around will stop to look at him, and some women will shout, "Fight this pervert." Lin Feng threw a word, and then quickly walked over and hugged Hong Ying from behind. Lin Feng felt the softness of Hong Ying's buttocks, and Hong Ying also felt Lin Feng's body upright. The red shadow softened to Lin Feng. Lin Feng hit the red shadow. But Hong Ying was wearing a short skirt and trousers, so Lin Feng couldn't break into his body through the short skirt and trousers, otherwise it would be more uncomfortable than wearing more than 10 sets at the same time. Hong Ying blushed and smiled charmingly, "You bastard, you hug me like this, how can I teach you to dance?" Lin Feng said, "I found that since I lived here, seducing me has become your habit, you might as well teach me the kind of dance that hugs and dances together, whether it's dancing on the bed or dancing on the ground, I don't care." Hong Ying said, "Since you are interested, dance on the ground for a while, but I want to remind you that we are standing by me, not falling down." "Okay." The moment Lin Feng let go of Hong Ying, he deliberately exerted a force, and his tall and straight once again pressed against Hong Ying. At that moment, a strange air current rushed in Hong Ying's body, making her graceful and hot. Spicy body is more moist. Lin Feng and Hong Ying soon hugged each other face to face. Lin Feng put one hand around Hong Ying's graceful waist, and the other hand fell on her Xiang's shoulder. Hong Ying made the same action as Lin Feng. Lin Feng felt the softness of Hong Ying's towering chest, and Hong Ying also felt Lin Feng's solid physique. Under the guidance of Hong Ying's rhythm, the two fiery bodies danced together. Lin Feng's eyes are very hot, Hong Ying's eyes are very blurred, Lin Feng's smile is light, and Hong Ying's smile is hot. During about 10 minutes of dancing, Lin Feng's uprightness touched Hong Ying's body at least 6 times, each time giving Hong Ying an electric shock, but Hong Ying didn't remind anything, just like her lower abdomen nothing was felt. "Oh! You bastard, you stepped on my foot. You must have done it on purpose. It was pretty good just now, why did you step on my foot all of a sudden?" Lin Feng did step on Hong Ying's feet on purpose, because he didn't want to dance, but wanted to roll on the bed with Hong Ying, do something more intoxicating, or tell Hong Ying a funny story. Hong Ying pushed Lin Feng away, her round buttocks sat on the sofa with great force, her whole soft and graceful body swayed with the sofa, and said angrily, "You stepped on me just now." Lin Feng said casually, "Then you can step on me too." But when he noticed that Hong Ying was wearing high heels, he immediately regretted it. He really shouldn't have said that just now. Hong Ying chuckled and said, "You're really not afraid of anything? Aren't you afraid that I will trample you into a cripple?" Lin Feng said, "Actually, I just noticed that you are wearing high heels, but I believe that you will not be so cruel to me." Hong Ying's face gradually softened, and after a while, she smiled and said, "Why do you know that I won't be so cruel to you?" Lin Feng sat beside her, inhaled gently and tasted a rich aroma. The smell of the skin was very good, the smell of perfume was also very good, and the unbridled dispersion of hormones made him a little uneasy. Lin Feng took Hong Ying into his arms, carefully experiencing the unique softness, and said with a smile, "Because you really treat me as a friend, otherwise you wouldn't be so good to me." Hong Ying said, "Am I being so nice to you just when you're a friend? I've never been so nice to other men of the opposite sex. I even gave you a red-style massage. Do you understand why?" This is also what Lin Feng is most puzzled about. In fact, it can be explained by Hong Ying's affection for him, but what Lin Feng is most afraid of is that it is not this reason but other reasons that he has not thought of. Lin Feng didn't want unexpected things to happen in his life all the time, because it would catch him off guard. Lin Feng said, "You like me?" Hong Ying said, "Yes, I like you." Hearing Hong Ying's affirmative answer, Lin Feng's heart jumped wildly. Although Hong Ying was answering the question just now, it was a special confession. Lin Feng said, "Since when did you fall in love with me?" Hong Ying said, "From the moment when the two of us were fighting in the ring, and then you hugged me and danced a Spanish bullfight. I was stunned at the time, I really couldn't believe that your kid would suddenly make such a move. Your body seems to have flown above the snow-white clouds with you, and we are surrounded by blue sky, flying romantically." Hong Ying told Lin Feng how she felt at that time, intoxicated. Lin Feng was extremely surprised. He just wanted to play a prank when he was angry, but what he didn't expect was that the prank he played brought Hong Ying a lot of money. Such a wonderful feeling directly caused Hong Ying to fall in love with him. Lin Feng said, "Do you want to be my girlfriend, or do you want me to agree to some kind of request from you?" To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to vote and recommend at the starting point. Tickets, monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi. Chapter 324. When this question was asked, Lin Feng's heart beat faster, and it was a bit chaotic, because he was very worried that the request made by Hong Ying was something he couldn't do. Hong Ying said, "Even if I want to be your girlfriend, I'm afraid you won't let someone of my type be your girlfriend, because I will make you feel uncomfortable, or you will think that I am not living a life. That kind of person, if they give birth to a child in the future, is likely to use a stroller to push the child to play acrobatics on the road, or lift the child over his head and take graceful steps, making passers-by think that I may call this cute at any time. The baby will be thrown out, some will hold up the camera, some will call 110. It's wonderful and absurd. Lin Feng was stunned by the words that Hong Ying said at a very fast speed. His mouth was slightly open, as if he was about to eat something. Looking at you, it's really interesting. Hong Ying took out 2 chewing gums from the small bottle, stuffed one into Lin Feng's mouth, and chewed the other by himself. Lin Feng ate the chewing gum and smiled relievedly. I understand, even if I want you to be my girlfriend, you won't be my girlfriend. Hong Ying said, what I said just now is that you won't let me be your girlfriend. Of course, I have never thought about which man to be a girlfriend or even a wife, because this is very important to me. It's a terrible thing, but I'm a woman, I'm a very beautiful and mature woman, and I also long for love and passion from a man, but this man who plays passion with me must be what I like, then it is you. You can take this as my confession to you, and you can think about it for 10 minutes. Then tell me whether you want it or not. Lin Feng understood. Hong Ying wanted to maintain a lover relationship with him. This relationship was obviously different from the relationship between boyfriend and girlfriend, but he could do things that boyfriend and girlfriend could do. Lin Feng naturally likes to play passionately with beautiful and hot women. I am afraid that very few men don't like this, but this kind of beauty is usually in fantasy, and it can be encountered in real life, but Lin Feng is undoubtedly more beautiful. At this time, there was a woman who was so beautiful and hot to the highest realm who wanted to play passionately with him. According to common sense, he has no reason to refuse, but he is facing Hong Ying, a very special woman beside Ye Zi. He must seriously consider this issue, but Hong Ying just said that he will only be given 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, his bird would still be hot, and the answer he gave was definitely not rational. Lin Feng smiled relievedly, I didn't expect a lot of what you said to me just now. I'm sorry, within 10 minutes I will. It's not clear to think about this issue. Hong Ying sighed lightly, okay, I'm not difficult for you, you cannot answer me immediately, but I hope you can give me an answer before leaving this villa, that's fine. If you can't pull it down, even if you don't want to, I will neither the leaves nor the leaves will be difficult for you. Lin Feng said, I will seriously consider it. Hong Ying is equivalent to confessing to Lin Feng. This is a very special confession, and what he wants to maintain is also a very special relationship. At this moment, when she faces Lin Feng again, it is not as natural as before, but this awkward feeling will gradually dissipate and be replaced by naturalness. Hong Ying said, then I'll go out first. There is no massage tonight, and there is no ambiguity tonight, but you can't secretly code words, I wish you a good night's sleep. Hong Ying went out, her scent was still there, and the words she just said were still lingering in Lin Feng's mind. It's not even 9 o'clock in the evening, Lin Feng definitely won't lie down in bed so early, he has the urge to code words, but he has no plans to code words in this villa, he can only go back to Ad after 3 days. Even Lin Feng was in a mess while browsing the news. He was thinking about what Hong Ying said to him just now, and also thinking about what would happen when Tian Qingzhu, accompanied by Li Xingguo, met that Meng Jiwei. At 9 o'clock in the evening, Meng Jiwei had been waiting in the woods of the school for almost 10 minutes. While smoking, he was also observing the movements around him. If Tian Qingzhu came alone, it would be better to say, if there were suspicious people around, he would gotta be on guard. When the time is up, but Tian Qingzhu has not appeared yet, Meng Jiwei is a little restless. He wants to call Tian Qingzhu and ask her where she is, but she will not come. But he quickly dismissed the idea, and he might as well wait another 10 minutes. Tian Qingzhu appeared, and Meng Jiwei could see clearly that the man following Tian Qingzu was Li Xingguo, the eldest young master of Jinwu Center. If it was before, Meng Jiwei would be afraid when he saw Li Xingguo also coming, but now, he seems to be there is nothing to be afraid of, because someone supports him, and he has an artifact of repairing people on his body. Li Xingguo said, "He saw us." Tian Qingzu said, "He doesn't seem to be afraid at all." Li Xingguo said, "I'm also a little puzzled, this kid doesn't seem to take me seriously, but don't worry, if I'm here, you won't be hurt." Tian Qingzu and Li Xingguo walked into the woods. Meng Jiwei leaned against a tree and folded his arms, holding a straw stick in his mouth. Meng Jiwei's eyes swept coldly from Li Xingguo's face, and then fell on Tian Qingzu's beautiful face, and said with a light smile, "Qingzu, why are you a schoolgirl doing things that make me angry? Why did you bring such a thing here?" Tian Qingzu was scared in his heart, but what he said was calm. "Meng Jiwei, your family background is good, many people at Beijing Normal University envy you, but you are a villain, come to see a villain like you, of course you want someone to protect you, so you asked Li Xiao to accompany me." Meng Jiwei said, "Why is it the Li Xingguo, not the Lin Feng? I'm afraid Lin Feng is no longer in Beijing. Is it because the small room he rented has been returned, and he has already got out of his bed?" Hearing a bang, Li Xingguo's fist landed firmly on Meng Jiwei's face. Meng Jiwei fell to the ground, and the straw stick in his mouth spit out, even with blood and pain. "I rely on Li Xingguo, I will kill you." Meng Jiwei immediately took out a miniature electric baton from his trouser pocket and waved it at Li Xingguo. This miniature electric baton was given to him by a very special person. Although it was very compact, it was very powerful, suitable for sudden surprise attacks. The moment he saw Li Xingguo accompanied Tian Qingzu over, Meng Jiwei planned to attack Li Xingguo with this miniature electric baton. Unfortunately, his performance was too arrogant just now, which caused Li Xingguo to fail to suppress his anger and punch him. He knocked down. There is a certain gap between Li Xingguo's kung fu and the top masters, but it is still very easy to clean up a person like Meng Jiwei. Seeing Li Xingguo holding a miniature electric baton and waving it towards him, the moment he dodged, he faced Meng Jiwei's the wrist is just a foot, and the moment the wrist trembled, the miniature electric baton took off his hand. Li Xingguo grabbed the miniature electric baton in his hand as soon as he bent over. He said in his heart, "You want to attack me with this, please see if I don't use it on you." Li Xingguo stepped on Meng Jiwei's back, and pointed a miniature electric baton towards his neck. When the electric current passed through his body, Meng Jiwei's entire body trembled, his expression was painful, and his mouth was blurred. Indistinct voice, Harazi also flowed out. "Li Xiao, that's almost it, don't electrocute him." When Tian Qingzu first saw it, she didn't know that this thing was a miniature electric baton, but she has already realized it. Li Xingguo knew very well that although this kind of miniature electric baton for self-defense was not small, it would not kill people under normal circumstances, otherwise the manufacturer would have been out of luck. He called Meng Jiwei very happily, and Li Xingguo stepped on Meng Jiwei's back again and said with a sneer, "Lin Feng is very busy these days and has no time to repair you. When he is free in a few days, he will continue. If you're bothering you, just panic as much as you like." Tian Qingzu and Li Xingguo left. Meng Jiwei was in great pain, and would not be able to stand up for a while, so he could only crawl on the ground with his mouth gnawing at the mud. A couple came over. The woman promised to give the manna in the woods. Just now the man was reminding the woman, "When you first started off for me, don't move too fast." The woman said, "You are afraid of squirting too early?" The man said, "No, actually, I was afraid of spraying too hard." Almost 10 meters into the woods, the two of them immediately saw a monster crawling on the ground, and the girl screamed in fright, "Ah, what is this? People, this must be a person, I don't know if it's seriously injured or dead, let's go out quickly, if If the police ask, they don't see anything. The pair of Mandarin ducks were frightened to death before they had time to play jerking off. Meng Jiwei scolded angrily, "Fuck, your eyes are so blind, who died? Didn't I live well? I was just drunk, so I accidentally fell to the ground." Meng Jiwei was severely electrocuted by a miniature electric baton just now, and Li Xingguo was kicked in both feet, causing unbearable pain all over his body, but since he had made a sound just now, it was necessary to stand up, and he tried his best to finally stand up. Stand up! The couple could see clearly. Li Xingguo's face was very swollen. It didn't look like he fell, but it looked like someone's fist was punched, but neither of them had any background, and they didn't have any skills, so they didn't dare to provoke Li Xingguo. "Rolls," the boy said embarrassedly. "Meng Xiao, it's you, who am I supposed to be? Your body smells so bad, you drink almost 2 pounds, right?" Meng Jiwei said in his heart, "You kid gives me a lot of face. Even if you have a dog nose, you can't smell the alcohol on Laozi's body, because Laozi doesn't drink alcohol at all." He sneered, "It's almost 2 pounds, I can't help it, I have to be very interesting to accompany the young masters and young ladies on the scene in Beijing. Fortunately, I drink a good wine of 10,000 yuan, otherwise I will drink so much. I can't bear it." To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi. Chapter 325. Meng Jiwei was in pain all over, and it was difficult to walk like a normal person. He pretended to be drunk and walked out staggeringly. When he saw someone passing by him, he would shout, "And have another drink, Laozi." "Not drunk yet?" the girl asked the boy. "Is that Meng Jiwei really drunk?" The boy said, looking at the way he looks at the ball, it is estimated that he was beaten by someone. Although Meng Jiwei is a ruthless character, there are many more ruthless people than him. Even if he has a father who is a dean, people with more background than him are also ruthless. I've gone too many. Oh, anyway, we can't afford to offend him, just pretend we haven't seen anything. You can't talk about this as gossip when you go back to the dormitory. I will not say. Give me a plane again, the boy said. If you don't fight, I'm scared to death. Don't you see that my hands are shaking? I guess I can't catch your plane. I hold your hand and you can grab my plane. Then don't fight anymore. If you really want to fight, go back to the dormitory and go to the bathroom to fight alone. The girl was not in the mood to off the boy, and she walked out of the woods with a lonely step in shock. The boy's thing was very tall and straight, and she could not be released. She could only use that thing to support her jeans and walk out. Tian Qingzu and Li Xingguo had returned to the feminine fashion store. Li Xingguo told the scene just now with relish, and both Dainan and Zhaofei laughed. Dainan said excitedly, "That Meng Jiwei really deserves it. His miniature electric baton was going to deal with others, but in the end, he let others take it and deal with him." Li Xingguo said leisurely, "We can only blame Meng Jiwei for being too self-sufficient. He thought he could deal with this young master with a miniature electric baton. Even if he had a machete in his left hand and a miniature electric baton in his right hand, it would not be enough." Li Xingguo showed his hand in front of Tian Qingzu and Dainan. He was very sturdy. Zhao Fei's face was very bright. Although he didn't suffer and made Meng Jiwei suffer, Tian Qingzu was not happy at all, because trouble could come to him at any time. Even if happiness doesn't knock on the door, don't always knock on the door when trouble comes. Tian Qingzu just wants to cry. At 10:30 in the evening, the feminine fashion store was closed. Dainan suggested Tian Qingzu to live with her tonight. Tian Qingzu had no opinion, and she was a little afraid to go back to the dormitory. Li Xingguo and Zhaofei sent Dainan and Tian Qingzu to their home before leaving. Sitting in Dainan's partition room, Tian Qingze couldn't hold back the tears any longer, and choked and cried. Meng Jiwei is a haunted bastard. When will he stop? Qingze, don't cry, even if you keep crying. The trouble that should come will still come. It's better to face it with a smile. This time Meng Jiwei has suffered again. You should laugh. Sister Nan, can I laugh? I don't even know what will happen at dawn. With me. With Lin Feng, you will be fine. Besides, you will soon be Lin Feng's girlfriend. He is a very responsible person. He will only make you happy and will not hurt you. I'm really afraid now that I will implicate brother Feng. Tian Qingze's tears kept flowing. Dinan said, you can't implicate him, don't think like that, you should think like this, you are a weak woman, and you are so beautiful, you need a strong man to protect you, and Lin Feng is the most suitable person to protect you. Powerful man. Tian Qingze began to think about the question again, whether she wanted to be Lin Feng's girlfriend, and whether she and Lin Feng were suitable. In Ye Zi's private villa, Lin Feng already knew the whole process of Li Xingguo repairing Meng Jiwei. It was very powerful and funny, but his heart was hanging. This Meng Jiwei actually got a miniature electric baton. This kind of thing is easy to buy online, but Meng Jiwei definitely didn't get arrogant because he had a miniature electric baton in his hand. Someone must have supported him. And this miniature electric baton was most likely given to him by the person who supported him. Not only did Hong Ying not give Lin Feng a massage this evening, but she also did not stay in the same room as Lin Feng, probably because she was embarrassed after confessing to Lin Feng. Hong Ying, who was playing a large-scale online game, opened the door when she heard the knock. Looking at Lin Feng's face, she smiled shyly and said, "What's the matter, can't sleep?" Lin Feng walked in and said solemnly, "Qingze and Dinan are in trouble, I must go and see." Hong Ying said, "Didn't Li Xingguo handle it for you?" Lin Feng said, "What I'm afraid of is that Meng Jiwei has a backer. It is estimated that his mother came back from the United States. It is very likely that he will bring a master back. Maybe Li Xingguo can't handle it alone." Hong Ying said, "There are dozens of people in the Jinwu Center, all of them are very good at fighting. Even if Li Xingguo can't handle it alone, so many people can handle it." Lin Feng said, "But I'm still worried. Oh, is our relationship closer than before?" Hong Ying said, "You mean, you have agreed to maintain a lover relationship with me?" Lin Feng said, "I haven't considered this issue yet, but the relationship between the two of us is still closer than before, because you gave me a red-style massage." Hong Ying smiled relievedly, raised his fist and hit Lin Feng lightly twice. "You are really joking, I thought. Oh, it's better like this, starting from tomorrow, let Miss Ye send someone to supervise that. On the other hand, if you need to take action, Ye Zi will send someone to take action. You don't think that Hengtu Company does not have strong enough people to deal with Meng Jiwei, even if Meng Jiwei's mother really came back from the United States, so what? If Ye sent someone to supervise, Lin Feng wouldn't have to worry too much." He smiled and said, "That's fine." Meng Jiwei's mother, Zhu Qinglan, did come back from the United States and brought back a black master who was nearly 2 meters tall. The big man she called Black John was indeed a master fighter, with great strength and strong legs. Man, is now Zhu Qinglan's bodyguard. Meng Jiwei's father, Meng Chengming, who was the dean of Beijing Normal University, naturally wanted his wife to come back alone. Even if he wanted to bring him, he had to bring back a white beauty from the United States, but what she brought back was a black guy, or he's a big man, and it's scary to look at him a few more times. Black John seems to have no ambiguity with Zhu Qinglan, who looks a lot younger than his real age, just the relationship between the bodyguard and the boss, but Meng Chengming is still very worried. Things that people find terrifying have already broken into Zhu Qinglan's body many times, making Zhu Qinglan lean back and forth violently and enthusiastically. Meng Chengming usually has a dark face when he sees Black John, but no matter how dark his face is, he can't be darker than Black John, because Black John was originally a black man. Black people are basically athletic. I wonder if Black John really used his athleticism on Zhu Qinglan. Meng Jiwei, who was repaired very sadly, came back and threw himself into Zhu Qinglan's arms and cried a lot in Zhu Qinglan's heart. His son has been the master of making others cry since he entered the first grade of elementary school, and he has not been like this since then. Cried. This time Meng Jiwei cried very hard, and Zhu Qinglan's anger was burning, and she decided to ruthlessly repair those who made her son cry. Zhu Qinglan looked at Meng Chengming, who was sitting beside him, and said coldly, "You are very promising as a dean. Usually your son is right under your nose, but you let him go. People repaired him like this. Just tell me, for the schoolgirl named Tian Qingzhu, our son has suffered a lot from that kid Lin Feng." Meng Chengming was obviously very afraid of Zhu Qinglan. He said embarrassedly, "Don't forget, I am the dean, and I am a person with status. If I behave too protectively in school, others will have opinions on me. I am very hopeful to be the vice president of Beijing Normal University, so I must pay attention to my words and deeds. Even if you become the vice principal, you're still a jerk. The more I look at you, the less pleasing to the eye." Zhu Qinglan paused for a moment but looked at John Black. Judging by that very special look, she seemed to like John Black. "Black John, do you have the confidence to defeat Lin Feng, Li Xingguo, and everyone who appears in our sight?" "Have." "That's right, you will go to the Jinwu Center tomorrow and destroy Li Xingguo's prestige. If Lin Feng also appears, you will even pack up with Lin Feng and break Lin Feng's leg." "Okay," Black John replied, obviously very confident. Meng Chengming was very depressed. This Black John completely overshadowed him in front of Zhu Qinglan, as if he, the dean, was a bird and Black John was a sturdy Terminator. After taking the trauma medicine, Meng Jiwei went to lie down on the bed in the room. Although it was repaired, his thing was very straight. He imagined several beauties in a row, some he had done, some he had not done. John Black arrived at the room that Zhu Qinglan had arranged for him, and while browsing the web, he drank coffee and smoked a cigar. The gold chain around his neck was sparkling. He seemed very excited, and sometimes he twisted his huge body to say a few R&B. In the bedroom, Zhu Qinglan put on short skirt-like pajamas, her chest was high, and her fair calves were exposed. Facing Meng Chengming, her smile was not charming but cold. This time the couple had been separated for a long time, but the first night they came back Zhu Qinglan didn't make out with Meng Chengming because she was too tired. Meng Chengming expressed his understanding. He felt that he should be able to have with his wife who looked very tender this evening. He didn't have the energy to score twice, but the last time he came, it was quite pleasing to his wife on the premise of doing enough foreplay. Confident, although his thing is not very powerful, he knows how to tease a woman's body. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 326. Seeing Meng Chengming approaching, Zhu Qinglan waved and gave him a slap in the face. Meng Chengming's gold-rimmed glasses were knocked out, and his body staggered and almost fell to the ground. He was very angry. Only by picking up his eyes and putting them on can he be confident, otherwise myopia and astigmatism will make him panic. Meng Chengming picked up his eyes and put them on, angrily said, "Zhu Qinglan, you are too much. I have seen it since you came back. Your attitude towards me is different from before. Give me a reason why you treat me suddenly cold." Zhu Qinglan said, "I don't seem to have suddenly become cold to you, but gradually become colder. We have spent far more time apart than we have been together, so it's not surprising even if it gradually becomes colder. If I tell you, this time I will come back just to divorce you, do you believe it?" Meng Qinming's blood pressure suddenly became a little high, and he didn't care about taking medicine for the time being. He wondered, Kinglin, are you crazy? What crazy things are you talking about? Why did you divorce me? Did I treat you not good enough? Zhu Kinglin said leisurely, you are good enough to me. Your tongue not only licked my whole body, but also licked my feet many times. But why did you always lick my feet before? Because you only rely on that. Things can't satisfy me, you know my feet are hot. In the past, when Meng Chengming licked Zhu Kinglin's feet, Zhu Kinglin only cared about enjoying and did not express his inner thoughts. Meng Chengming thought she didn't know, but now it sounds really harsh. The angry Meng Chengming waved his hand and slapped Zhu Kinglin in the face, but was caught by Zhu Kinglin's wrist and pushed away. Zhu Kinglin sneered, don't forget, I'm a martial artist. Although I'm not a master, it's enough to break your arms and legs. You're also a dean of a key university, you don't want to be left behind. If you are disabled, don't do anything to me easily. Kinglin, you. Meng Chengming had no choice but to sit on the sofa hugging his head and crying. Zhu Kinglin smiled coldly, sat next to Meng Chengming, and said leisurely, don't cry, this marriage is a divorce. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm serious. As for the reason, if I need a reasonable explanation, I can only say that we are no longer from the same world. My life rhythm is completely different from yours. Although our son Ji Wei is already so old, I have experienced different from you. To any happiness. You mean, you can experience happiness from Black John, Meng Cheng said. What are you kidding? Do you think I divorced you because I wanted to marry that black guy? He's just my bodyguard. I fell in love with a banker in America, his wealth is $100 million, oh, he also loves me very much, and I am the queen of his heart. If I marry him, I will be able to live a life of ecstasy. I am crazy, what do I say to you? Seeing Meng Chengming fainted, Zhu Kinglin was a little anxious. He shouted, Meng Chengming, what's wrong with you? You are a professor. You are the dean, this blow is nothing to you. Meng Chengming loved Zhu Kinglin very much. This kind of blow was too heavy for him, even if he fainted, it was normal. Meng Jiwei didn't know that his mother, Zhu Kinglin, came back from the United States this time to divorce his father, and he didn't know what happened in his parents' bedroom. What he thought now was to come soon tomorrow, so that Black John can arrive. Jinwu Center is showing off its power. After 10 o'clock in the morning, Li Yang was practicing kung fu, and Li Xingguo was still sleeping with Zhao Fei in his arms. Zhao Fei was not wearing shorts. At this time, Li Xingguo's hand was pressing on her wet place. He scored twice last night, and it seemed that he still couldn't enjoy himself. Li Xingguo is a guy with strong desires, and Zhao Fei can play like a goblin when he is warm, and the passion of the two of them is very hot every time. A very special person is here. Zhu Kinglin, Meng Jiwei, and Black John are here, and at the same time Zhu Kinglin's sister Zhu Qingyu is here too. Last night Meng Chengming was so angry that he passed out once. Although he woke up within half an hour, the blow he suffered was too great. Now I don't even have the strength to walk, and it's impossible to go to work at Beijing Normal University today, so I can only stop first with the academic subject in hand. Zhu Qingyu is 36 years old this year, with a beautiful face and a graceful figure. She is a very charming and tasteful woman. She didn't want to come, because she didn't have any interest in fighting and killing. She preferred an elegant atmosphere, but her sister Zhu Kinglin insisted on letting her watch a good show, so she could only come. Black John challenged Li Xingguo and Li Yang and his son, and each bet was 1 million. Black John is obviously a no-nonsense opponent. Just looking at that size is enough to be terrifying. Li Yang and Li Xingguo and their son can confirm through experience that Black John is a master fighter, and it is definitely not that easy to deal with. The stake for one game is 1 million, which is a bit high and can't be sloppy. Li Yang's expression is very solemn. Since he can't escape, he can only charge upwards. He said to Li Xingguo, "I'll go first." Li Xingguo said, "Dad, let me come first. What I'm afraid of is that you are not the opponent of that black guy." Li Yang said, "Although your boy is in your prime, there is still a certain gap between your attainment in Kung Fu and mine. Didn't the two of us fight back a few days ago? You are not my opponent at all. Or let me go first, the odds are better, after all, one bet is 1 million, if I beat Black John, you don't have to play, we can still make 1 million. Li Xingguo said, "But Dad, I'm very worried about your safety. If something happens to you, you will let me be your son." Li Yang said, "Don't say it, what are you doing sour? Where is your free and easy energy? Black John is a no-nonsense opponent." Li Xingguo couldn't be free and easy at this time anyway. When he wanted to continue to persuade Li Yang, Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei came over together. Although Meng Jiwei's face was swollen, there were still signs of being beaten on his body, but with someone supporting him, he could speak viciously to Li Xingguo again. "You father and son are really troublesome," whispering. "What? He still opened a martial arts hall, he has no courage at all, I think you are just scumbags, why don't you just admit defeat?" Li Yang sneered, "Is it a straw bag? You will know when you arrive in the ring. What I dislike most is a person like you who is not capable and always loves to talk." Zhu Qinglan smiled and said, "It seems that you have already decided, you go first." Li Yang said, "I'll go first." Li Yang and Black John entered the ring. Compared with Black John, who is nearly 2 meters tall and his muscles are so muscular that it is easy to be scared when he looks at it, Li Yang, who was originally burly, looked a lot thinner, as if Black John could get away with a punch. Can knock him out. In addition to Meng Jiwei, Zhu Qinglan, and Zhu Qingyu, there are also several important backbones of Jinwu Center in the ring. Almost no one thinks that Li Yang is the opponent of Black John, and even Li Xingguo, the son, does not think that the father he admires a little can. After defeating Black John, Li Xingguo's only wish now is that his father would not be seriously injured by Black John. Li Yang stood there awe-inspiringly, obviously not intending to shoot first. He had already thought about it, let Black John move first. If he moved first, it would be easier to be passive. Regardless of Black John's speed, this black guy's the power will be surprisingly large, and the most feared thing is to be caught when fighting against a very powerful person. He John brooded for a moment, roared and charged towards Li Yang, his fist the size of a vinegar bowl raised it and slammed it towards Li Yang's face. The moment Li Yang dodged, he was whipped at John Black's waist with a whip. Li Yang's whip leg slammed into John Hay's waist, but John Hay's body only swayed twice, and it didn't matter. He blasted towards Li Yang. Black John's strength is indeed very strong, and his speed is beyond imagination. Li Yang quickly became confused when he dodged, took a punch in the face, and flew to the ring, blood flowing from his nostrils and mouth. "Not moving. Dad!" Li Xingguo shouted and rushed towards the ring. Black John raised his arms, swayed and laughed arrogantly, his snow-white teeth contrasted sharply with his black skin, showing his strength and evil heartily. Li Yang didn't die, he just fainted and woke up quickly. His face was not lightly injured. He was carried to a bed in a room by people from Jinwu Center. Someone had already taken care of his facial injuries. At the moment when Li Yang fell on the ring, Black John wanted to rush over and kick a few times, but Zhu Qinglan said beforehand, "You just need to defeat your opponent, don't kill people, if you kill people, you will cause big trouble." Black John is Zhu Qinglan's bodyguard, he just wants to protect Zhu Qinglan and make money at the same time. He didn't want to cause any trouble, so he gave up the idea of continuing to attack Li Yang. Li Xingguo boarded the ring, although he was very angry and wanted to win a game for his father, but he was still very unconfident in the face of the burly and sturdy Black John. Black John wanted Li Xingguo to shoot first, so he raised his to stimulate him. Li Xingguo was very angry, and he had the heart to beat Black John into a man, but if he wanted to turn this burly and sturdy man into a man, it is about strength, he is completely unsure. Black John didn't take Li Xingguo seriously at all. He walked over with a funny step like a dance, kicked out with a kick, and Li Xingguo quickly avoided it. Black John kicked over with 2 kicks again. Li Xingguo avoided one of the kicks, but when Black John's second kick came over, he couldn't dodge. If Black John kicked him face, the consequences are unimaginable. Even if he doesn't die, it is very likely that he will be disfigured and disfigured. Li Xingguo can only block with his arms. Black John's legs kicked on Li Xingguo's arms. The strong force made Li Xingguo the whole body flew up and fell heavily 3 meters away. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi. Chapter 327. The left arm was a little better, but the right arm seemed to be broken. In the intense pain, Li Xingguo, who fell on the ring, trembled. He did not stand up forcefully and continue to fight Black John, otherwise he would be courting death. Since it falls, it is a failure. But losing in the ring is definitely better than admitting defeat in advance if you don't enter the ring. The 2 consecutive fights were much easier than John Black had expected. He stood on the ring first in American English and then in tongue-in-cheek Chinese, savagely attacking the Chinese Kung Fu. Meng Jiwei has a lot of face and cheers and applauds Black John arrogantly. Zhu Qinglan looks arrogant, with a light smile on the corners of his mouth, raised his hands to his chest and gently clapped and clapped. Zhu Qingyu didn't understand many of the practices of Zhu Qinglan's own sister. Although the martial artist He Zhan brought by Zhu Qinglan was very good just now, he defeated Li Yang and Li Xingguo in a row and won 2 million, but Zhu Qingyu didn't feel excited at all. On the contrary, it was a little uncomfortable. She felt that her own sister should not have done all this, and she should not have seen it all. The 2 million cash was placed in 2 black suitcases and placed in front of Meng Jiwei and Zhu Qinglan. Zhu Qinglan touched Meng Jiwei's head and smiled, "Son, we should go." Meng Jiwei said, "Is this gone?" Zhu Qinglan said, "John He has already defeated both Li Yang and Li Xingguo." Li Yang's face was seriously injured, and Li Xingguo's right arm was fractured. "We also won 2 million yuan. Isn't it enough fun?" Meng Jiwei said, "Why don't Black John also give a meal to the few people in the Jinwu Center who watched the battle just now?" Zhu Qinglan said, "Jiwei, you are being naughty again. We should really go." Meng Jiwei carried 1 million, and Black John carried 1 million. Zhu Qinglan and Zhu Qingyu walked out of the Jinwu Center with their arms crossed. Zhu Qingyu sighed softly, "My good sister, every time you come back from the United States, I will find your changes, and this time the changes are especially big." Zhu Qinglan said, "Everyone can change. What I have been exposed to is just the tip of the iceberg of American capitalism. I will have a broader vision in the future, and I will continue to change. You should learn from me and live more casually." Zhu Qingyu sighed again, "Don't I live a smart life? It's just that your sister, my understanding of chic is different from yours. Oh, I also made an appointment with a friend, let's go first." Zhu Qinglan said, "Let's have Western food together." "No." Zhu Qingyu smiled slightly, opened the off-road vehicle door, sat in, and drove away. In Yeziai's private villa, Lin Feng is playing chess with Sister Wang. He has lost 5 games in a row, each one badly, and the 6th game has begun, but he is already showing signs of losing. Today, Sister Wang is wearing a round neck shirt and jeans. The round neck shirt is close to the neck, and the jeans are not low waist. It was as if she was afraid that Lin Feng would see a blockbuster spring, but her were too big. Even if the crew neck shirt was a little loose, it still supported her towering breasts. No matter whether Lin Feng's eyes fell on Sister Wang's face or her towering chest, he would be greatly stimulated. Lin Feng's cannon devoured one of Sister Wang's horses, and said with a smile, "The charming woman. You didn't see this move, did you?" Sister Wang said, "If you don't want your car anymore, you can leave like this." "Oh, I remind you, don't call me a charming woman again. Since you came to this villa, it's the third time you call me that." "I am. Every time I hear you screaming like that, I feel very uncomfortable." Lin Feng smiled and said, "Aren't you a charming woman?" Sister Wang said, "Am I?" Lin Feng said, "You are." Of course, Sister Wang knows that she is a charming woman, and she is a very beautiful and full woman. Ye Zi and Hong Ying have said before that her charm is very special. When she heard Ye and Hong Ying say this about her, she felt very comfortable. Even a little proud, but when Lin Feng said that to her, she felt a little awkward. Sister Wang said, "In short, you are not allowed to call me that in the future." Lin Feng said, "I will call if I want, because you are too charming, you know. I also want to give you a nickname." Sister Wang said, "What nickname?" Lin Feng said, "Hormones." Sister Wang was so angry that the nickname Lin Feng gave her turned out to be Hormones. This is a serious tease. Sister Wang grabbed a chess piece and threw it at Lin Feng's head, angrily said, "I'll kill you, bastard." Lin Feng caught the chess piece, placed it on the chessboard steadily, and said with a smile, "Sister Wang, how could a woman as beautiful and charming as you do such a rude thing? I'm playing chess with you, but you don't. Grab the chess pieces and hit me. If I tell Ye Zi and Hong Ying, you will lose face." Sister Wang said, "If you have the guts, then tell them to go. If Miss Ye knows that you are teasing me, she will fix you. Maybe she will let you stay here for a month and let your novel for more than 20 days, your readers will go crazy, and the company you sign with will have great opinions on you." When Lin Feng wanted to say something again, his cell phone rang. It was Zhao Fei who called. He picked it up and found out that Meng Jiwei, his mother Zhu Qinglan and his aunt Zhu Qingyu had brought a master named Black John to work hard. The Wu Center retaliated. Both Li Yang and Li Xingguo were injured. Li Yang's face was seriously injured, and Li Xingguo's right arm was fractured. "Damn it! Meng Jiwei, I killed you. Zhu Qinglan, I have destroyed you. Black John, I killed you." Lin Feng's sudden anger caused Sister Wang to tremble. Sister Wang wondered, "What happened to make you so angry?" Lin Feng told what happened in the Jinwu Center, and Sister Wang was also worried. What she was worried about was that Lin Feng would suddenly rush out of the villa. If Lin Feng left like this, he would not be able to see Lin Feng when Ye came back. That is her dereliction of duty. Sister Wang said, "This matter is indeed a bit serious, but even if you want to go and see it, you must let Ye know first. You won't waste much time by calling her." "All right." What Lin Feng can be sure of is that neither Li Yang nor Li Xingguo is life-threatening, so he still has time to make this call. Ye learned that something like this happened. Let Lin Feng not worry, she will be back soon. Lin Feng heard it. Ye won't stop him, and it is estimated that he will go there with him. "Don't worry, I believe that the speed of the leaves will be very fast. You should have a cup of tea first." Although Lin Feng was teased just now, Sister Wang is not so angry anymore, and now is not the time for her to be angry. At this time, Lin Feng is not in the mood to hunt for beauty at all. Sister Wang is sitting half a meter away from him. But he didn't look at Sister Wang. Sister Wang said, "You are very loyal to your friends." Lin Feng said, "People live in the world, and they must be good to their true friends and their relatives." Sister Wang said, "You are right, it seems that you are a very responsible person. Lin Feng said, just relying on this mess, you have to have a sense of responsibility for people and things, otherwise you will be a fool. Very anxious and angry, Lin Feng even used birds when chatting with Sister Wang, a charming beauty. Sister Wang didn't like to hear vulgar words, but she didn't make any comments. Yaya and Hong Ying came back, and Lin Feng had already told her everything on the phone just now, so she didn't need to ask any more. She stared at Lin Feng's face and said, "What are you still doing? Let's go to the Jinwu Center quickly." Lin Feng and Ye Ziyi both sat in the back row. Hong Ying was driving. The road was a little blocked. Lin Feng seemed very anxious. The car air conditioner was blowing cold wind, but Lin Feng sweated out from his forehead. His expression and eyes were very anxious. Ye Ziyi said, "Your relationship with Li Xingguo is really strong enough. It is simply unbelievable. You can actually become good friends with people of Li Xingguo's style." Lin Feng said, "When I first confronted Li Xingguo, I did not expect that he and I would become such good friends, but then I slowly discovered that there are bright spots in Li Xingguo's body, regardless of his attitude towards those women in the past. He really has nothing to say to his friends. This is how I am. If others treat me well, I will treat others well. If others treat me badly, I will treat others poorly. I will definitely find it back when I have the chance. I will repay if I have revenge, and I will repay if I have kindness." Leaf said, "How am I to you? I have bullied you a lot before. Do you really want to kill me?" Lin Feng smiled, "Although you have bullied me, in general, you are tolerant enough to me." Ye Ziyi said, "You really didn't want to kill me?" Lin Feng's mouth was close to Ye Ziyi's ear, and he whispered, "I killed your chest." Ye Ziyi obviously didn't expect Lin Feng to tease her all of a sudden. Her face sank, but she quickly relaxed. She didn't continue to say anything to Lin Feng, but looked out the car window, as if there was something outside the car window that could attract people. Her landscape. When Lin Feng, accompanied by Ye Ziyi and Hong Ying, arrived at the Jinwu Center, Li Yang's face had already been treated for the wounds. He was put on medicine and bandaged. The doctor invited by the tertiary hospital is putting a plaster on Li Xingguo's right arm. Lin Feng was in a hurry. "Doctor, his arm." The doctor said, "Fractured, but he is in good health. He will recover after 2 or 3 months." Lin Feng said again, "Will there be any sequelae?" The doctor said, "No." Lin Feng's heart calmed down a little, but his heart was very uncomfortable. "Uncle Li, Xingguo, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been hurt so much. I'm sorry." Li Xingguo said, "If you say this, you will be seen outside. We are buddies. It's a pity that neither my father nor I are the opponents of that Black John. Otherwise, we wouldn't be like this." Lin Feng said, "I will make them pay the price. I will call Meng Jiwei, the bird man. Your support is my greatest motivation." Mobile phone users, please go to M to read. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 328. Li Xingguo said, "You wait first, don't be impulsive, don't be impulsive." Lin Feng said, "What's wrong?" Li Xingguo said, "Brother Lin Feng, your kung fu is indeed very high. My father and I both recognize your kung fu, but I think you are not Black John's opponent. Black John's body is too sturdy to fight against. His fighting ability is extremely strong, and his move speed is also very fast. Kicking his legs out is like a storm. This level can't be beaten hard. If you are seriously injured, it will not be worth the loss. As you can see, me and our old dad was beaten hard. That woman Zhu Qinglan will definitely make Black John play harder on you. We must discuss a plan." Lin Feng said, "I also believe that Black John is very strong, but I must fight him. No matter if I am his opponent or not, I must fight him, otherwise this disturbance will be difficult to quell." The storm subsided. "Even if I was severely injured, it would be fine." Although Ye Ziyi and Hong Ying had never seen Black John, the two of them could predict that Black John was a very special person, and some burly men who were too strong to be abnormal were indeed difficult to deal with, even if they moved towards such a person very quickly. Violently attacking, the fists and feet fall on this kind of person, and it can hardly cause any effective impact, but once such a person succeeds in counterattack, the consequences are terrible. Yezideo, Lin Feng, don't be so arrogant, I'll help you deal with this. If Yaya used the contacts that Hung To Company has managed for so many years to deal with this matter, it should be able to stop Meng Jiwei's family, but Lin Feng didn't want this. Since both Li Yang and Li Xingguo were bleeding. If possible, Lin Feng must let Black John bleed. Meng Jiwei's family must pay the price, otherwise he will feel uncomfortable when he thinks of this in the future, and this uncomfortable feeling will accompany him for more than 10 years or even his whole life. Lin Feng said, if they have notified the police, then you can only help the peace, but now they have not notified the police, I think I can still toss. Yezi, I said, you just want to toss. Toss. You are easily injured. Lin Feng said, injury is a bird, you must toss. Yezi, I was very helpless, but Hong Ying admired Lin Feng even more. The nature of Lin Feng made her even a little cool. Anger and excitement, Lin Feng's hands trembled a little when he dialed Meng Jiwei's phone. At this time, Meng Jiwei, Zhu Qinglan, and Black John were eating in a very high-end Western restaurant. Seeing that it was Lin Feng, Meng Jiwei laughed, interesting. It's so interesting, that Lin Feng called me, and it just so happened that we even cleaned up with him. Zhu Qinglan put down the knife and fork in his hand, smiled and said, give me the phone and I will tell him. Meng Jiwei called Zhu Qinglan. She picked it up and said gloomily, Lin Feng, you are so tired of living, you dare to bully my son over and over again, what kind of thing are you? Are you worthy of bullying my son? Lin Feng said, Black Fungus, I'll get you. Both the leaves and the red shadow were stunned. Lin Feng opened his mouth and said this. They both knew exactly what the black fungus was referring to, but Lin Feng actually wanted to get this black fungus. It seemed that the woman on the other end of the phone was Meng Jiwei's mother. Could it be that Lin Feng wanted to get Meng Jiwei's mother? Is it a little too sharp, is it a little too heavy? Zhu Qinglan was about to be mad with anger, and said coldly, Lin Feng, you ignorant thing, I will let you power. Now that you have called, what do you want to do? Challenge. I'm going to fight Black John with a stake of 3 million. What Lin Feng said surprised Yezi and Hong Ying even more. The stakes were set so high that Li Yang and Li Xingguo both felt that something was wrong because Lin Feng was crazy. Zhu Qinglan thought that Lin Feng had already taken the bait. Her fungus was indeed very black, but the men who had seen her fungus said she was intoxicated, but Lin Feng despised her just now. Zhu Qinglan said, no problem, then tonight is fine. I heard Jiwei say, you are a poor ghost, 3 million is an astronomical figure for you, I hope you can get 3 million by then. Come. Lin Feng said, I will show you the cash. I hope you will bring cash as well. I will send you one more word, black fungus, you're fucked. Zhu Qinglan even felt that the world was spinning. Lin Feng said again that she was a black fungus, and even scolded her for being an egg. Zhu Qinglan slammed the phone on the table and said coldly, John Hay, you and Lin Feng called him tonight, and he broke both of his arms and knocked out 8 of his teeth. My beautiful boss, you just have to be optimistic, Black John said. Lin Feng will have a fight with Black John at 9 o'clock in the evening. The top priority is the issue of gambling funds. Lin Feng obviously can't come up with 3 million. His deposit is only more than 1 million. Cannot be done in the case of. Li Xingguo said, I will pay for the gambling, and I will find someone to get the money. Yezideo, no, this time Lin Feng's gambling capital, I will come out, let alone 3 million, even if it is 30 million or 300 million in cash, it is not a big problem. If it is necessary, I will instruct the people from Hung to Company to empty a few bank branches, and then use a truck to pull in the money. Lin Feng said with a smile, Miss Ye, you are indeed very charming when you are sturdy, but if you do this, it will be a kind of performance art, and there is absolutely no need to empty a few bank branches, but this time, the gambling capital, it's up to you. If I lose your 3 million, you can spank me 300 times. This is teasing. Ye determined Lin Feng's behavior just now, raised his slender legs, and kicked his ass. If you lose the 3 million, maybe I won't let it go. Your ass, I will let Hong Ying punish you for me. Hong Yingzin said, even if I punish him, then spanking him is expensive enough. 3 million hits only 300 times, and one hit is 10,000 yuan. Lin Feng thought that Ye was teasing him just now, but at the end Ye still mentioned Hong Ying, as if to remind him that what Hong Ying said to you, you'd better think about it quickly. Ye Zi made a phone call, and an hour later, 2 burly but well-dressed people came over with 2 suitcases, and 3 million arrived. Lin Feng found that the state of wealth is indeed very refreshing. If one day, 3 million is a drizzle for him, then life is too exciting. Lin Feng thought of Dainan and Tian Qingzhu, and he said anxiously, John He and I will fight at night. I wonder if that Meng Jiwei will trouble Dainan and Qingzhu during the day. This is indeed a problem. At this time, Meng Jiwei is excited. In this state, he can do anything. Ye Zi smiled and said, today I give you a day off, you can go to Dainan and Qingzhu, but after tonight's fight, you must go back to the villa with me, because the 10-day period is not over yet. No problem. Lin Feng, Ye Zi, and Hong Ying left the Jinwu Center together. Ye Zi said, would you like me and Hong Ying to send you there? Lin Feng said, no, I'll take a taxi, you can go to work first. It just happened that Hung to Company had something to do. Ye and Hong Ying left first, and Lin Feng also took a taxi to the place he was very familiar with. Along the way, Lin Feng wondered whether that Meng Jiwei would trouble Dainan and Tian Qingzhu during the day, and if he went to trouble, would he go alone or be accompanied by someone? If the woman who accompanied Meng Jiwei was Zhu Qinglan, Lin Feng planned to let Zhu Qinglan taste his power at the Fengnan fashion store. If the man who accompanied Meng Jiwei was the burly man of Black John, Lin Feng would not mind the fight in advance, but the only problem is that if he and John Black got into a fight near Beijing Normal University, it's easy to alert the police. The business of Fengnan fashion store is not bad today. Dainan and Tian Qingzhu are both in the store. At this time, the 2 beauties don't know that Li Yang and Li Xingguo have been injured by Meng Jiwei's mother, Zhu Qinglan's bodyguard, John He. Dainan was worried that Meng Jiwei would retaliate at any time, and even if the business was good, it wouldn't make her happy. Seeing Dainan's melancholy, Tian Qingzhu felt very guilty, and sighed softly, if it wasn't for me, there wouldn't be so much trouble. Sister Nan, this is not the first time I have implicated you, and it is bad enough to be friends with me, right? Dainan smiled and said, Qingzhu, you are talking nonsense again. What kind of bad luck is this? I think it is very enjoyable to be friends with you, whether it is for men or women. More special experience is very good, okay, otherwise you will collapse when you encounter a major event. You see, I didn't collapse, and I don't want you to collapse. Tian Qingzhu said, I can still hold on, but I feel very guilty. Dainan said, you don't have to feel guilty, relax, and when Lin Feng appears, you can quickly be his girlfriend. Lin Feng really appeared. When he walked into the Fengnan fashion store, Dainan and Tian Qingzhu couldn't believe it, and the 2 beauties were stunned. Lin Feng, have you finished helping Li Xingguo? Dainan wondered. It's not over yet, isn't this what happened on your side? I'll come over to take a look first, and then continue to work on his side tomorrow, Lin Feng said. Dainan knew that Lin Feng did not help Li Xingguo, but let the leaves go away, so when she heard Lin Feng say this, she immediately understood that it was very likely that something happened to Li Xingguo, otherwise Lin Feng would not appeared at this time. Dinan said, "Is it Li Xingguo?" Lin Feng said, "Li Xingguo and his father Li Yang were both injured by Meng Jiwei's mother Zhu Qinglan's bodyguard Black John. Li Yang's face was seriously injured, and Li Xingguo's right arm was broken. It was like a bolt from the blue. Dinan and Tian Qingze couldn't stand it, and the two beauties were immediately stunned. The bodies of the two beauties were trembling, Tian Qingze's lips were white, and after a moment of trembling, he threw himself into Lin Feng's arms and burst into tears. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 329. It was at this time that two customers came in. The two of them had come to Fengnan fashion store several times before to buy things. Dinan knew that they were both students of Beijing Normal University, and the beautiful school flower was on the way. Lin Feng cried in his arms, "This time is obviously not suitable for customers to come in." Dinan smiled and said, "I'm so sorry, something happened to the shop and it's temporarily closed. If you want to buy something, come back later." The two girls were very curious, why Tian Qingze, the beauty school flower, was crying so sadly in Lin Feng's arms. Could it be that she was accidentally pregnant by doing that? The two girls didn't ask any questions, but they backed out in confusion. Just when Dang Nan was about to pull down the roller shutter, an off-road vehicle parked on the road a few meters away from the store. The door opened, and Meng Jiwei and his mother Zhu Qinglan got out of the car. Lin Feng had never met Zhu Qinglan before, but he immediately guessed that this woman was Meng Jiwei's mother, Zhu Qinglan, who was well maintained and looked about 10 years younger than her real age. As for temperament, let alone a very rich woman who runs a company in the United States, her temperament is absolutely noble. Lin Feng has always believed that a woman's external nobility and internal nobility are two different things. Zhu Qinglan's skin is white and delicate, but she must be a black fungus, so black that anyone who sees it can't believe it. Zhu Qinglan didn't want Meng Jiwei to come over at this time, but Meng Jiwei couldn't help it. He really wanted to see Tian Qingze this day, and Tian Qingze was likely to be with Dinan at this time. So she came along with her. She wanted to see what kind of girl had fascinated her son like this. Although Meng Jiwei hadn't told her yet, Zhu Qinglan had already recognized that the pure and beautiful girl was Tian Qingze, the school flower. Meng Jiwei said, "He is Lin Feng." Zhu Qinglan stared at Lin Feng's face coldly. "You are Lin Feng, what an amazing person I think I am. I look very ordinary. I am a busy person, usually busy with business and enjoyment. I have no time to pay attention to you. Little people. But you are too ignorant to repair my son several times. Who gave you such courage?" At this time, Meng Jiwei and Zhu Qinglan had already walked in. With what happened to Li Xingguo and Li Yang, Meng Jiwei believed that Lin Feng would not dare to do anything. At this time, he was supported by his mother and looked rather arrogant. The suave demeanor of the past is back. Lin Feng pulled down the roller shutter. Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei were a little puzzled. Zhu Qinglan sneered, "It seems that your kid no longer dares to look at me under the sun," so he pulled the roller shutter down. "I know you are very scared, but even if you regret it now, it's too late. Because the arena between you and my bodyguard Black John has already taken effect, just tonight, it depends on how talented you are." Lin Feng said disdainfully, "Hey fungus, you are wrong. Maybe you don't like me calling you black fungus. But I just want to call you that. Even if I don't take off your pants, I know your fungus is very black. So pull the roller shutter, not to beg you to let me go, but to close the door and beat the dog." Lin Feng waved his hand and slapped Zhu Qinglan in the face. Zhu Qinglan is a woman who knows martial arts. If she encounters 3 or 2 ordinary gangsters on the road, she can handle it, but she is not able to avoid Lin Feng and swipe like lightning. Slap. Lin Feng's hand slapped Zhu Qinglan's face fiercely, making a loud bang, and Zhu Qinglan's nose blood splashed and fell out. Lin Feng had already seen the angle just now, so Zhu Qinglan didn't hit the shelf, just hit it to the wall. Fortunately, Zhu Qinglan was wearing trousers instead of a skirt, otherwise the moment he fell out, it would have disappeared. Even if the black fungus would not be exposed, the pants would definitely be exposed. After Zhu Qinglan fell to the ground, it was dark, her ears buzzing, her mind went blank. Lin Feng's slap just stunned her. Meng Jiwei couldn't believe it in his dreams. Lin Feng was actually a strong mother who dared to hit him. Meng Jiwei's suave demeanor had disappeared, and he looked at Lin Feng's face in panic. You dare to hit my mother. Lin Feng said, "That's your mother, not my mother. What's wrong with beating her? Although I have always been a person who respects the elderly and loves the young, and is a little polite to the elders, your mother is not in the scope of my respect." Within, Meng Jiwei really wanted to stand up for his mother, but facing Lin Feng, who was obviously much better in kung fu, he didn't dare to do it easily, and he looked quite embarrassed. Lin Feng kicked Meng Jiwei's stomach, and Meng Jiwei also flew out and hit Zhu Qinglan's body. Zhu Qinglan cried out in pain. Lin Feng walked over, kicked Meng Jiwei's back and thighs a few times, and then kicked Zhu Qinglan's stomach with moderate force. It was necessary to ensure that Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei could leave here smoothly after being beaten. "If I can't move, I'm afraid trouble will come," Lin Feng said. "The two of you can completely avoid this beating, but unfortunately, your flesh is too itchy, and you rushed to the door to let me be beaten, then I can't let you down. Ms. Zhu Qinglan, look at you, for the boss's sake, I'm going to send you a song before I open the shutter. It's a song that was born out of my sudden inspiration. There is no accompaniment and no microphone. I can only sing softly. Just listen." Dainan and Tianqingzu were stunned to the extreme, not knowing what song Lin Feng was going to sing. Lin Feng sang, "Qinglan, Qinglan, you are beautiful, why is the fungus so black? Qinglan, Qinglan, you are rich and rich, why is the fungus so black? It turns out that you have other men besides Meng Chengming. It is all the men who make your fungus so black, 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 you are a charming woman, black, black, you make me angry and want to kill, black, black." Zhu Qinglan finally got the lesson. She finally understood who her son had offended. This person cannot be described as a rogue, this person cannot be described as a villain, and this person cannot be described as a pervert, because these words are not enough to describe this person. Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei came here beautifully, but now they are extremely embarrassed. Zhu Qinglan didn't even have the courage to look at Lin Feng. She faced the ground quite quietly, but her breathing was quite short, as if she was thinking about a very serious problem. "Why is the fungus so black?" Lin Feng said, "You can go now, see you tonight." Lin Feng opened the roller shutter and sneered, "Get out of here, or I'll stand on the street and sing the song of black fungus." Although Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei were both injured, they fled like the wind. The off-road vehicle drove away, and Lin Feng chuckled lightly. Dainan and Tianqingzu were silent. What Lin Feng did just now was beyond their thinking. The strong accident made them unable to believe that this was a real world. Lin Feng's mood was much calmer than before. He lit a cigarette, and said with a smile, "Don't you two know me a little?" Dainan said, "I think I still know you. Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei are both hateful. No matter how you humiliate them, it's fine." Tianqingzu didn't know what to say. Her face was still a little pale, and her breathing was still uneven. She was frightened again. Lin Feng beat Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei to frighten her, and Lin Feng sang the song of black fungus to her. Lin Feng said, "Qingzu, I'm sorry, I scared you, but don't think I'm a hooligan, and don't think I'm a villain. Meng Jiwei's mother is a real hooligan, Meng Jiwei is a real villain. I want to fix it. People like them have to go through this method." Tian Qingzi showed a miserable smile. You scared me, but in my heart, you are still a good person, because you have never dealt with me in this way before. Lin Feng said, I will never use this method for you. If I want to compose a song for you, it will be Song of Purity. Tian Qingzi hurriedly said, don't. Although she is very pure, she still does not dare to hear the Song of Innocence sung by Lin Feng. On the way, Zhu Qinglan urged Meng Jiwei thousands of times not to tell the story of Lin Feng singing the Song of Black Fungus. Meng Jiwei nodded again and again. Even if Zhu Qinglan didn't ask him, he wouldn't say it easily. Meng Jiwei was going crazy with regret. He really shouldn't have appeared in Fengnan fashion store before Black John repaired Lin Feng. When he got home, Zhu Qinglan's face was swollen, beauty turned into embarrassment, charm turned into sadness. Meng Jiwei's face was also swollen, Suave became embarrassed, and demeanor became sad. Black John was stunned, and suddenly screamed in American English, my God, what the is going on? I'd put my hand on the Bible and swear, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Zhu Qinglan slumped on the sofa, lit a cigarette and took 2 puffs before sighing, both Jiwei and I let Lin Feng beat you. Lin Feng hit? He will be in the ring with Lin Feng tonight? Originally, Black John was very curious about Lin Feng seeing the miserable appearance of Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei. He was even more curious about Lin Feng. Black John said coldly, Boss, let me kill Lin Feng tonight, I'll kick his waist, then throw him off the ring and kill him. Zhu Qinglan took a breath and said solemnly, I also want Lin Feng's life very much, but this is Huaxia Kingdom, if you kill Lin Feng, I am afraid we will get into a lawsuit, and it will not be so easy to return to the United States smoothly. Yes, but you can break both his arms and knock out his mouth full of teeth. Originally, Zhu Qinglan wanted Black John to interrupt Lin Feng's 2 arms and then knock out Lin Feng's 8 teeth, but she was so angry that Lin Feng's Song of Black Fungus strongly stimulated her, and she was only 1 step away from collapsing. She felt that when Lin Feng's mouth full of teeth was knocked out, she would not be able to sing the Song of Black Fungus. Zhu Qinglan thought to himself, my mother is black fungus. My mother's fungus gradually turned black more than 10 years ago, and my mother will soon let you taste the power of black fungus. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi Feng. Chapter 330. At 8:30 in the evening, Lin Feng, Dainan, and Tian Qingzi went to the Jinwu Center together. Facing Li Yang and Li Xingguo, who were both seriously injured, Dainan and Tian Qingzi felt guilty, especially Tian Qingzi, the beauty school flower. She felt extremely guilty. If it wasn't for her, Li Yang and Li Xingguo wouldn't have been hurt so much, and she couldn't wait to find a crack in the ground to get in. But all of this seemed to be prearranged by fate, and she couldn't escape if she wanted to. As long as she was still alive, she had to face it. The sparkling tears were meandering on her beautiful face, and Lin Feng felt very distressed when he saw it. He stretched out his arms and took Tian Qingzi into his arms. Tian Qingzi's towering chest was clinging to Lin Feng's body. The softness with heat made him very comfortable, but at this time he was not in the mood to hunt Yan, just wanted to make Tian Qingzi's heart feel better. Tian Qingzi choked and said, if it were in the back town of Shu province, I wouldn't have encountered so many troubles. This is what Lin Feng didn't want to hear, but Tian Qingzi said it. He didn't mean to lose his temper with Tian Qingzi, otherwise the beautiful schoolgirl would be even more aggrieved. He smiled relievedly, Qingzi, don't complain, since you meet when you get there, just face it. The world of Qiushan town is very small and very poor. If you go back there, you may not encounter so many troubles, but you will lose more, and you will have a very bright life trajectory. There will be a huge change because of this, and when that happens, you won't be you anymore. Tian Qingzu said, is it me if I stay in Beijing? Lin Feng was more depressed than before. The duel between him and Black John was about to begin. He obviously didn't want to talk to Tian Qingzu about this at this time. But since Tian Qingzu started talking, he had to go on. If he deliberately avoided this topic, Tian Qingzu would be very tangled. Lin Feng said, you here, because you can develop very well here. People go high and water flows down. This is the law of nature. Whoever violates this law will pay the price. Dainan is also very worried about Tian Qingzu's state at this time. It would be bad if Tian Qingzu was determined to return to the back mountain town because of Meng Jiwei's troubles. At least for Lin Feng, this is definitely not a good thing. Li Yang and Li Xingguo are more worried about Lin Feng's safety, because Black John is indeed a big man who is difficult to deal with, and Lin Feng is very likely to be seriously injured in the fight with Black John. Li Yang said, when you are fighting with Black John, if you can't beat him, don't hold back. Even if you escape from the ring, it's fine. It's important to save your life. Lin Feng said, Uncle Li, I know you're doing it for my own good, but I still didn't expect you to say such a thing. No matter how tough Black John is, as long as I get on the ring with him, I won't escape. Li Yang said, I know you are a very principled person, but things are too special. You don't open a martial arts hall, you don't play black boxing, and you don't actually rely on kung fu to eat, you better. Lin Feng said, Uncle Li, you don't need to say it. I know it in my heart, and I'm not very afraid of Black John. Li Xingguo wanted to say something. But he looked at Lin Feng's current attitude, and it seemed that there was no need to say anything. Lin Feng obviously wanted to fight with He Zhan to the end. Dragon and snake legs are very powerful Chinese arts in China. I hope Lin Feng can use his dragon and snake legs to defeat He Zhan. Black John arrived, so did Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei. This time Zhu Qinglan's sister Zhu Qingyu didn't come. Originally, Zhu Qinglan wanted Zhu Qingyu to come, but the last time I saw Black John, Li Yang, and Li Xingguo in the arena, Zhu Qingyu was caught in the blood. The smell of it was irritating. Obviously, she didn't like the smell, so she didn't come over this time. Both Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei's faces were injured by Lin Feng, and the swelling has not subsided yet. Both mother and son were in a state of embarrassment. The moment they saw Lin Feng, anger burst out in Zhu Qinglan's eyes, and sneered, Lin Feng, what is your point? It's enough to fix me and Jiwei, but have you seen my bodyguard Black John? He's so burly, he's so powerful, he'll make you suffer when you get to the ring. Lin Feng lit a cigarette and said with a smile, actually, you stinky woman should add that he made you so comfortable. The reason why your fungus is so black, I am afraid that Black John also contributed a certain amount of strength. Zhu Qinglan and Black John did have that kind of thing. The two of them were enthusiastic through different postures. Black John's ability was very strong, and every time Zhu Qinglan was satisfied, but Lin Feng said in front of many people. After coming out, Zhu Qinglan lost face. Zhu Qinglan said angrily, Lin Feng, you bastard, which I did you see me and John He have done that kind of thing, you're just lying, and everyone who hears it will despise you. Lin Feng glanced at John He and said with a smile, despise me? John He's eyes have already explained everything. Meng Jiwei, you must know that John He once went to your mother, and when your father was a scholar, he was very attentive. At that time, Black John was hitting your mother hard. Lin Feng, you, fuck. Meng Jiwei's mouth was almost crooked with anger. He began to think about a very serious question. Has John Black ever his mother? Although he really wants to have more top-notch beauties in the future, he doesn't want his mother to be by too many men. It would be cruel if his mother was by a burly guy like Black John. Thing. Lin Feng chuckled and said, Meng Jiwei, you don't need to be too depressed. Black John's with your mother is indeed cruel to you and your father, but you are very comfortable to your mother. Black John must be very powerful, he must have made your mother comfortable. Both Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei were humiliated by Lin Feng, and they only hoped that the ring would start soon, and then Black John violently repaired Lin Feng. Time up. Lin Feng and He John entered the ring, and Li Yang, Li Xingguo, Zhao Fei, Dainan, Tian Qingzhu, Zhu Qinglan, and Meng Jiwei were the audience. Black John took off his upper body shirt, revealing his dark muscles and exaggerated tattoos. The moment his arms surged, his upper body muscles also surged, as if he could punch Lin Feng at will. Fly out. At the Fengnan fashion store, and just now, Zhu Qinglan was almost crushed by Lin Feng's humiliation. It's not that she never lost anyone before, but she has never lost such a big person. She shouted angrily, "Black John, burst out your energy." He John roared and rushed towards Lin Feng, his fist the size of a vinegar bowl slammed into Lin Feng's face, very direct, fast, and very oppressive. Lin Feng suddenly kicked Black John's chest. When Black John's fist was about to touch his face, he took a kick in the chest, and his body flew backwards, instantly pulling away from Lin Feng's fist. Distance, but Black John just stumbled 3 steps to maintain his balance and did not fall on the ring. Not only did He John's attack just now not hurt Lin Feng, he even took a kick from Lin Feng in the chest. He didn't fall down, and it seemed that nothing happened, but his chest hurt a lot from the kick just now. He understood that Lin Feng's kung fu is much better than Li Yang and Li Xingguo. Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei were a little disappointed. He John's punch just didn't hit Lin Feng's face, and He John's chest even kicked Lin Feng. Black John didn't mean to take the initiative to attack for the time being. Lin Feng hooked his finger at him, trying to provoke the burly big man by teasing him so that he could move again, but Black John was standing like a dark wall. There was no intention of moving at all. "You don't move, I move." Lin Feng slowly leaned towards Black John. Dainan and Tian Qingzhu's hearts were in their throats, for fear that Lin Feng would be hit by Black John's tricks by leaning over. Black John has already begun to sum up in his mind, no matter if Lin Feng punches or kicks, he can grab Lin Feng, then violently attack his body, break his 2 arms, and then knock out his mouth full of teeth. Imagining with Lin Feng's mouth full of blood, Black John was very excited. Lin Feng punched Black John twice in the face, and Black John's head was shaken from side to side, but he didn't catch Lin Feng's arm, because Lin Feng's speed was too fast. 2 times in a row when he tried to shoot, Lin Feng's fist shrank back after the punch, as if it was pulled back instantly by a strong spring. At this time, Lin Feng and He John kept a distance of nearly 5 meters. He was punched by Lin Feng in the face just now. Blood dripped from the corner of He John's mouth, and his anger was burning, but he still did not intend to take the initiative to attack. Lin Fengzin said, "Black John, you are a cunning person who is Zhu Qinglan's bodyguard. Although I don't know you very well, I know from your performance now that you are a person who cherishes your life. I don't know if Zhu Qinglan's life is really in danger. Do you dare to rush up bravely? You black guy is likely to run away." Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei are very disappointed. So far, Lin Feng has not fallen down, his arms are fine, and his mouth is full of teeth, but John He is injured and bleeding. Seeing Lin Feng leaning over again, Black John was ready to capture Lin Feng again, and he began to guess whether Lin Feng would punch or leg this time. Lin Feng kicked several sweeps in a row. Black John avoided the first 2 sweeps, but failed to avoid the 3rd and 4th sweeps. After 2 sweeps, Black John's huge body staggered violently. He got up and raised his arms. Lin Feng took the opportunity to kick Black John's chest with a flying kick. Black John's cumbersome body fell to the ground with a bang, but Lin Feng stood firmly on the ring. If he was facing an average level person, Lin Feng could even play tricks just now. After a kick, he could do a volley and toss in the air, and then stand firm. However, facing a terrifying big man like Black John, he still intends to stabilize. 1 point is better, the safest way is to land with your feet as fast as possible. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi. Chapter 331. Before Black John got up, the door opened, Yaya and Hongying walked in. The two beauties were wearing long skirts. Yaya looked very elegant, and Hongying looked very hot. Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei both knew Yaya, the eldest lady of Hengtu Company, and her bodyguard, Hongying. At this time, the two of them actually came. Did they come to Jinwu Center to play and heard that someone was here to watch the competition, or did they come to Linfeng? If the two of them are here to cheer for Linfeng, then the situation is not good. Zhu Qinglan does not think that her relationship network can compete with Yaya, the eldest lady of Hengtu Company. Zhu Qinglan whispered, that Linfeng knows Yezi. Meng Jiwei said, I don't know about this, but I think Yaya should be coming towards Linfeng. Zhu Qinglan's confidence was even lower, and her voice trembled a little. It seems to be a little troublesome. Meng Jiwei said, why don't we two go, leave Black John alone to fight with Linfeng? I don't think this Black John may be Linfeng's opponent, he didn't make any money just now. Oh, he climbed again. Woke up. Zhu Qinglan said, we can't leave at this time, we have to wait for Black John. Before she could finish her words, Yezi and Hongying sat over. Yezi glanced at Zhu Qinglan arrogantly, and said with disdain, you are a very romantic woman, the company is in the United States, but you don't forget to come back to make trouble. Where are you from? Got a black master and want him to fix my good friend Linfeng. Zhu Qinglan said embarrassedly, yeah, is Linfeng your good friend? Yezi said, yeah, I have a good relationship with Linfeng. So, your actions made me very angry. I don't know how long you want to stay in Beijing this time, and I don't know if you want to go back to the United States. Zhu Qinglan panicked even more than before. Yeah, this is a complete misunderstanding, I'll make them stop. It seems that it is not so easy to stop. He John got up from the ground and went crazy, roaring, and rushed towards Linfeng, his fists violently attacked, and greeted Linfeng's head wildly. Linfeng is also blocking while dodging. After staggering a few times, he fell on the ring. Black John's mouth kept spewing out American English, which probably meant, you bastard, I'll kill you, and I want you to taste the power of Black John. Black John's legs kept kicking towards Linfeng, who fell to the ground. Linfeng was also blocking with his arms when he rolled. He was already injured. In particular, his arms were seriously injured. Yezi, Hongying, Dainan, and Tian Qingzu were all very worried. Black John's attack was so violent, and Linfeng was in a very embarrassing situation at this time. Hongying whispered, do you want to shoot? Yezi said, wait a minute. Hongying said, forget it by shooting that black guy. Yezi said, don't shoot first, although Linfeng is very embarrassed at this time. But he may not be defeated. Hongying said anxiously, do you think Linfeng is a god? Yezi said, he is not a god, but I believe he can create miracles at critical moments. It must not be a problem to keep rolling on the ground. While blocking, his injury was also getting worse. Linfeng risked being kicked in the face by Black John and hugged Black John's leg. And his head slammed into Black John's thigh violently. Black John's thigh was slammed by Linfeng's head, and his body shook. Linfeng stood up instantly and punched Black John more than a dozen times in the chest. Linfeng's fist kept colliding with Black John's chest, making a dull sound, and Black John's body kept shaking. When he raised his right fist to smash Linfeng's face, Linfeng sideways dodged to the side. It was more than 3 meters away from Black John. Black John hadn't recovered from the shock just now, but he had already kicked Linfeng with 2 leg sweeps. The speed was obviously not as fast as before. Lin Feng avoided these two leg sweeps and kicked with two leg sweeps. In the past, Black John also avoided Lin Feng's two sweeps. Black John, stop fighting. Hearing Zhu Qinglan's shout, Black John couldn't believe his ears. He hadn't taken down Lin Feng, but the boss told him to stop. Want to stop? Black John quickly made a decision, pretended he didn't hear it, and continued to fight Lin Feng. He had to break Lin Feng's two arms and then knock out his mouth full of teeth. There were bloodstains on both Lin Feng and He Zhan's faces. At the same time, Lin Feng's arms were seriously injured, and He Zhan's chest and right leg were seriously injured. Seeing Black John leaning over, Lin Feng slapped his waist with a whip, and Black John wanted to grab Lin Feng again, but he took another beat. Black John, who was a little crazy, roared. Lin Feng seized the opportunity and slapped Black John's waist with two whip legs. Black John could no longer maintain his balance and fell to the ground again. Lin Feng flew up the moment Black John fell to the ground, his knees fell heavily on Black John's stomach, his fists danced, and he violently slammed into Black John's face. In an instant, more than a dozen punches landed on Black John's face, blood splashed, Black John's head shook violently, and he quickly fainted. If Lin Feng flew up and knelt on Black John's chest just now, he would instantly shatter Black John's sternum and die, but that would be equivalent to killing him. Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei might call the police immediately, no matter who was against whom. Wrong, it is equivalent to his life lawsuit, the consequences are unimaginable. At that moment, reason overcame impulse. Lin Feng just knelt on Black John's stomach and attacked his face violently. At this time, Black John's very dark face had turned bright red, but Lin Feng knew that Black John's face had turned bright red. John just fainted, not dead. The moment Lin Feng stood up, his legs and arms hurt a lot. His body swayed for a moment to maintain his balance, smiled slightly and walked down a bit slowly. Lin Feng wins. The fainted Black John seemed unable to wake up for a while. When Ye said that Lin Feng was her friend, Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei panicked. At this time, when Lin Feng defeated Black John, Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei panicked even more. Lin Feng walked in front of Zhu Qinglan and sneered, "Black Fungus, I won, you lost 3 million, you should leave with Black John." Zhu Qinglan trembled, "Lin Feng, you won, you are a master, our family will not provoke you in the future, oh Jiwei, please apologize to Lin Feng." "I'm sorry, Lin Feng, this time it's my fault again. Why do I always make mistakes in front of you? I'll never dare again, this time I really don't dare. It doesn't make any sense for you to apologize to me. Why don't you apologize to King Zhu? I want to see you slap her violently in the face," Lin Feng said. "No problem." Meng Jiwei began to slap himself violently at Tian King Zhu. He slapped himself more than 20 times in a row, and blood splashed from the corner of his mouth. It could be seen that although he was hitting himself, he did not cheat or cheat. Zhu Qinglan lost all her face, but at this point, her face is not important anymore. The key is how to win the understanding of Lin Feng and Ye, and how to leave here smoothly. Zhu Qinglan not only wants to leave Jinwu Center, she also wants to leave smoothly. Beijing went back to America. Ye Zi smiled and said, "Lin Feng, your performance just now was wonderful. You are really a strong person. Hong Ying and I will leave first and contact us later." What Ye said turned out to be to contact him back, which was extremely clever, but Lin Feng was not confused. He knew that Ye said that because Tian Qingzhu was by his side, and he had to go back to Ye's private villa tonight. Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei took away the seriously injured Black John, leaving bloodstains on the ring, including Lin Feng's blood and Black John's blood. At the same time, Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei also left behind 3 million. Dainan and Tian Qingzhu have been asking how Lin Feng is doing. Is there anything wrong? It was certain that he was injured. What they were concerned about was how badly Lin Feng was injured. The pain in both legs and arms was very strong, but Lin Feng's smile was very free and easy, saying that he had nothing to do, and that this injury would be fine for a few days, and he would be healed when he finished helping Li Xingguo. Although Tian Qingzu is simple, she is a very smart girl. She thinks that Ye and Hongying just appeared by chance, but just for Lin Feng, and Lin Feng was not helping Li Xingguo in the past few days, but with Ye. Red Shadow together. The feeling of being deceived must be unpleasant, and the crystal tears began to spin in Tian Qingzu's eyes again. No man has ever moved her heart like Lin Feng, and no man has ever made her care like Lin Feng. The most urgent task at the moment is to deal with the 3 million that was just won. The 3 million of the principal, Ye Zi and Hongying have already taken away, and the 3 million in front of him at this time were brought by Zhu Qinglan and Meng Jiwei. 3 million is a huge sum of money for Lin Feng, who has only a wealth of more than 1 million. If all 3 million are in Lin Feng's account, then he can buy ordinary sets in Beijing. Buying a house in Beijing is one of Lin Feng's goals, and the opportunity is right in front of him, but he quickly made a decision that he must first make up for the 2 million lost by Li Yang and Li Xingguo, and the rest a million is his. Lin Feng found out that this was actually his original intention. He thought so when he raised the 3 million bet, but he was a little distracted just now and briefly pondered the matter of buying a house. Now his thoughts have returned to the original intention. Lin Feng smiled and said, "Uncle Li, Xingguo, there are 2 million of you in the 3 million, and then I will take away 1 million. Li Yang's hand patted Lin Feng's shoulder and smiled, "Uncle Li knows that you are a righteous person, but you need money more than us. You can use all this money to buy a house." Lin Feng said, "I really want to buy a house, but I can't take all of this money, otherwise even if I buy a house, I'll be uncomfortable living in. I'm serious. If you don't charge 2 million, future friends, no matter how many years I live in Beijing, I will never go to Jinwu Center." To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommended and monthly tickets. Your support is my greatest motivation. Mobile phone users, please go to to read.